Hello, Conceal Coalition. Hey, time for another community question. What is the best way to get used to carrying a firearm? Well, as we said before, there's only 2 rules to gunfights. Rule number 1,
always bring the gun.
because if you don't bring the gun, you're not in a gunfight, you're in a shooting. Very different life experience. Rule number 2 of a gunfight is if carrying that gun hurts, awkward, uncomfortable, or doesn't fit your lifestyle, you will not bring that gun. So how do you get used to carrying? Well, my advice is first off is spend a lot of time researching. I don't know about you, Jody, but if I'm carrying appendix or strong side, sometimes an inch one way or another changes the whole comfort level of that. Change the belt. Make sure the belt and the holster work well together. If you don't know the holster you're buying will work with the belt you've got, contact the holster manufacturer. They know more about how they designed this. So the next step is don't try to carry all day the first day. Limit your exposure, play with the adjustments. If you can do this around the house where you can kind of sit this so you're not in a public place where you have to just endure it in the wrong spot. So I think the way you get best used to carrying a holster is limited exposure, experiment where it fits in your body best because we're all kind of round in some places and flat in other places, and work on it slowly and gradually and build up your tolerance to it. What do you think about the best way to get used to carrying, Jody?
I got a better question than that.
Oh no.
Yes, because I have
no.
We have to talk about something that no one wants to talk about.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't even know what it is.
Look, we all have the issue, okay? My question is, Austin, where do I put my pew-pew when I poo-poo?
You know, some things you see you can't unsee.
I'm dropping a deuce. I have my firearm. Pants have to come down. Typically, gun is heavy, falls over.
For me, when I'm on patrol and I've got to go to a public place to do the poo-poo with the pew-pew,
yeah,
I can take my gun belt off, click it, just hanging around my neck, and you're the whole time just praying that you will not die on the crapper, because then you got a police officer who's trying to hang himself in the middle. But if you think about it, if you're in a civilian situation, first off, if you take the gun out, where are you going to put it? If you put it on top of the toilet paper holder, that's kind of bad, especially if they're psycho and they make it where it goes around the back, because those people are mentally there. It goes over the top the way it's supposed to be. Sometimes you're looking at the door in the back of the public bathroom and there's like the thing sticking out where you hang where someone hang their purse, their jacket, or whatever, and you think, well, put the gun there. But it's like probably not the best thing. Some people tell me that, well, you just unjack around on that. Well, let me tell you what, if I'm sitting there doing a number 2 and I hear someone chambering around, I'm stopping all number 2.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you, if I was tinkling, the tinkling stopped. What's that noise? I think I know what that noise is. So what do you do with your firearm when you're in a situation like that?
For me, it varies as to where I'm at, right? I'll tell you, I just saw a picture yesterday or a couple days ago on social media where someone had walked in to drop the deuce, and there was a baby changing table on the other side of the stall, and they pulled the baby changing table down and set their firearm in the holster with 2 magazines on the baby changing table. And immediately my thought was, wow, sure it's going to take you a while to get to that. But I think the toilet paper holder, it could possibly be an option. Some are thin, some are wider. You could set it up there, but you got to be careful when you're pulling the toilet paper down and it vibrates. Last thing you want is the firearm hitting the floor.
Well, one thing is I try not to get brand specific, but there's a company named Filster that makes an Enigma holster that I've been very, very happy with. And it basically is a Kydex holster that puts it in the appendix spot. There's a sort of a part that goes around your leg, then around your body, and it works incredibly well. The other thing that the Enigma does is for some people who have to dress very professionally, you can still tuck your shirt in, and that works well. Kangaroo carry, something we invented in 1994, might be an option as well. So you may have to play around with some sort of fixed body position to get around when you do the poo-poo.
One other thing I have seen, thought of, Austin, as when you down in the South, we call it dropping your drawers. When you drop your drawers, you have this area right here that you could unholster and set the gun pointing in a safe direction right there so that you have multiple hands available. Again, depends on your attire and what you're wearing.
My only problem is if it's down there and that stall doesn't come all the way to the end, the person who's walking by and seeing that gun in my was probably closer to getting it than me at that moment.
Yeah, again, it'd be the situation. If my stall is further down and I can tuck it down in there, where all they're seeing is the my drawers.
Even when you're in the bathroom with your pew-pew doing the poo-poo. And that brings me to my closing thought, which is be a guardian always.
And a warrior when needed.